A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. In a significant display of dissent, approximately 150 protesters occupied the lobby of Trump Tower in Manhattan on Thursday, March 13, 2025, demanding the release of Mahmoud Khalil, an anti-Israel activist recently detained by Immigration and Customs Enforcement, IC. The demonstrators, many clad in red, brandished signs that read "Free Mahmoud, Free Palestine," and shouted the well-known slogan "Free, Free Palestine." This protest took place in a location that holds historical significance, as it was where former President Donald Trump announced his candidacy for the presidency in 2016. The protest was organized by the group Jewish Voice for Peace, which aims to mobilize Jewish communities in support of Palestinian liberation and to promote a vision of Judaism that transcends Zionism. The group used social media to express their intentions, declaring, "As Jews, we are taking over Trump Tower to register our mass refusal. We will not stand by as this fascist regime attempts to criminalize Palestinians and all those calling for an end to the Israeli government's US-funded genocide of the Palestinian people." This powerful statement encapsulates the sentiments of the protesters who believe Khalil is being persecuted for exercising his right to free speech and advocating for Palestinian rights. Khalil, a prominent figure in last year's anti-Israel protests at Columbia University, was arrested at his university-owned apartment on the Upper West Side on Saturday. According to his legal team, ICE agents informed him that they were revoking his green card and student visa. His supporters argue that his detention is a violation of his rights, while the Trump administration labels him a national security risk, claiming he distributed pro-Hamas propaganda on campus. NYPD Chief of Department John Chell reported that 98 protesters were arrested within 2 hours of the demonstration start, with officers using zip ties to detain several individuals. The police swiftly removed all protesters from the premises, loading them into NYPD vans and MTA buses. Fortunately, there were no reported injuries or damage to property during the incident. The demonstrators now face charges of trespassing, obstructing governmental administration, and resisting arrest. The protest is part of a larger wave of demonstrations that have erupted in Manhattan following Khalil's detention. He is currently being held in Louisiana while a federal judge has temporarily blocked the Trump administration's attempts to deport him before his case is reviewed. The ongoing protests reflect a growing frustration among activists and supporters regarding the treatment of individuals advocating for Palestinian rights. Khalil, a Palestinian raised in Syria, is a permanent U.S. resident and is married to an American citizen who is currently 8 months pregnant. The personal stakes involved in his case have amplified the urgency of the protests, as supporters rally not only for his release but also for broader recognition of Palestinian rights. The location of the protest, Trump Tower, is a 58-story skyscraper developed by Trump in the early 1980s, serving as the headquarters for the Trump Organization. It houses luxury condominiums, office spaces, retail establishments, and a penthouse residence belonging to the former president himself. The choice of this site for the protest underscores the symbolic resistance against the Trump administration's policies regarding immigration and foreign affairs, particularly in relation to Israel and Palestine. As the protests continue, the situation surrounding Mahmoud Khalil remains fluid, with supporters vowing to maintain pressure on authorities until he is released. The events at Trump Tower have sparked conversations about the intersection of activism, immigration policy, and the ongoing Israeli-Palestinian conflict, highlighting the complexities and challenges faced by those advocating for change in a politically charged environment. The calls for justice and freedom resonate deeply within the community, as activists emphasize the importance of standing together in solidarity against perceived injustices. With the spotlight on Khalil's case, the movement for Palestinian rights gains momentum, and the demand for an end to the criminalization of activists becomes increasingly urgent. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.